Hey kids, it's Dean from Crypto the Wonder Dog. How do you guys like texting? Do you like it? I know that if you're a 14-year-old girl, that's all you can do. Like my daughter, she cannot make a phone call. She only knows how to text. Do you like texting? Do you like getting texts? How would you like to text somebody that is kind of out of your league, celebrity, but you probably won't be able to do that unless they were paid to read your text, or you were somebody that people texted you and you got paid to read their text, and they also get paid whenever you respond. How great is that? Well, our buddy Jim Bursch from Dash Messaging sat down with me this past week. We talked about it. Today's show sponsored by BCHARITY. BCHARITY, world charity in one place. Donate to your favorite charity today. Fully transparent, easy to access. BCHARITY.io. Go ahead and check out the page. They have their roadmap, their team, the one page or white page. BCHARITY, International Charity Exchange. World charity in one place. Donate to your favorite charity. Fully transparent. They have all of their social networks on here. They have their Telegram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. BCHARITY.io. If you're a charity organizer, if you're a charity, you want to get your charity involved with this. And I'd also like for you guys to get in touch with BCHARITY. If your charity organization could use something like this, which I think every charity in the world could use this. Helps bring people together. Go check it out today. BCHARITY.io. Okay. You ready to start the show? All right. Let's start the show. Hey kids, it's Dean with Crypto the Wonder Dog, and occasionally you come across some really great people, and sometimes you come across some people that you got some things in common with and then little in common with. But then I came across my buddy Jim Bursch. Jim is a guy that's been working on his own programs, but he's also developing some things with Dash. And we want to welcome Jim to the program. How you doing, Jim?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
All right, I've been working with your people. Not often that I get to work with people.
Well, it's not often I have people. So yeah, they're
Isn't
actually
that fun to have?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Getting your coffee for you, doing your errands,
well,
picking up your dry cleaning.
Well, yeah, maybe not that. They're not that close. They're
Walking your dog.
They're not in the house, so to speak. But yeah, they're doing a great job of. Getting me out there and getting
cool. Well, I'm very excited to be here. We're here in beautiful Beverly Hills.
That's right.
Yeah, and since I've been introduced to this world of crypto, there's not many companies that are here on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them tend to be overseas, or Europe and China. And,
yeah, but there's still a lot here. I mean, especially more so up in the Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I've been learning.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a hotbed right
yeah.
now.
I mean, a lot of major players are up there in Silicon Valley. So
yeah, I guess the ones that I came across, it seemed like they were all European, and then I started noticing that this is a lot of American ties to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
you started working on a project years ago. Was this before that you knew about cryptocurrency, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, you're talking about my obsessive 10-year project.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's now called Dash Messaging.
Dash Messaging.
Dash Messaging with Digital Cash.
Okay.
And basically, it's a messaging system it's an online messaging system that attaches money to messages. And so basically the way it works is everybody in Dash Messaging has a price,
mm-hmm.
and it's the price of delivering a message to the top of their message queue. And different people have different prices based on how many messages they're receiving, basically how popular they are.
Huh.
So the more messages you're receiving, essentially it drives up your price.
Yeah. And when you first started working on this, what was the concept?
That's a good question. Originally, actually, when I really first started working on it, I was working on what I call the problem of advertising. And I had come out of, I was a publisher of a small kind of literary arts magazine. We're talking 20 years ago now.
Well, all right.
And which was one of those things. It's a artist's endeavor, but pretty much a business failure. And so
I've worked on a few of those.
Yeah. So this was the 90s, and the internet was, the web was just starting to come up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was prescient or something, I don't know, but I saw that trouble was coming for journalism and for newspapers and that sort of thing. And so I started thinking about, well, how can somebody, what's a business model that can support good quality community journalism? And working on that problem, coming up through, ended up in working for a dotcom, and eventually I came to a solution that basically what needs to happen is people's time and attention need to be monetized, right?
Time and attention.
The time and attention, what I call Mindshare. So in advertising, they call it Mindshare, right?
Okay.
When you're trying to gather Mindshare. So when you think of a beverage, you think of Coca-Cola, right? And so advertising is all about capturing Mindshare.
Oh, good. All right.
And so I saw the solution to that problem was to create a market, because we all have all our time and attention is being bombarded.
Yeah.
And it's not really valued. And so the idea was to create a marketplace for a person's time and attention. And that's the original seed of the idea 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then started working on it, started developing it. And then about, 5 years ago, so I actually built a platform to actually do that. And then 5 years ago, I learned about Bitcoin. And so,
did you?
Yes,
Ah.
yes. So at that time, I was like, okay, how am I going to make this work? Basically, how do you buy somebody's time and attention, right? And so I was setting it up with PayPal, and I was actually quite disturbed by some of the privacy issues that I had with PayPal. One, I was just shocked at the amount of information that when a user decides to pay for something using PayPal, the site owner, right, that's accepting the payment, gets a lot of information from PayPal.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not really comfortable with this. And then Bitcoin came along, and it's like, wow, here's a payment system that it promises privacy. I mean, that's one of the founding principles of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you don't have to get involved with banking and all that sort of thing. You can actually program your own payment system. And so that got me into Bitcoin about 5 years ago, and then I integrated that into this platform that I was building. And then about a year ago, things were getting bad for Bitcoin. It wasn't really functioning very well as a payment system, as a currency.
And expensive too, right?
Yeah, it's expensive and time consuming, right? Yeah. So the problem with Bitcoin was, it's having this, it's the great scaling debate, which in some ways we're still working on, still trying to solve for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But so confirmation times were going through the roof, which is, you can't have 20-minute confirmation. You can't sit and wait for.
Did I get the money?
Yeah.
Is it coming?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes a lot of people pay, especially on a new concept for money. If you don't see it, you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
Did you just scam me?
Yeah.
And people get freaked out.
Yeah. And it goes into this weird space, and you don't know what the hell happened. And in fees,
man,
confirmation time and fees kind of go together, right? If you want to have it, and even then with Bitcoin, on average, the fastest you can expect a transaction to confirm is about 6.5 minutes or so, and which is problematic for a payment system.
Yeah.
So time and cost was going way up about a year ago. And I decided, well, I need to find something else for this messaging system that I was building, this platform. So I started looking around, and that's when I came upon Dash Digital Cash.
Okay.
And basically, this is among all the current cryptocurrencies, it kind of best fit the bill for what the solution that I was looking for, because it seeks to be digital cash. It's not trying to be a smart contract platform. It's not trying to be a banking settlement procedure or whatever. So, It just wants to be digital cash, and it had features like well, Dash separates itself from the rest of the field basically on right now on two features. It's instant send or instant payment, right?
Okay.
So that when you make a payment, you can do it instantly
Oh, all right.
instead of having to wait 6 minutes, at least.
At least,
And it
yeah.
also had has a private send feature, which you can also. So Bitcoin, initially was you can do anonymous transactions. Well,
Yeah, when you're buying kidneys on the black market, you don't want people to track that.
you don't want people to know that you have kidney problems and you need to get another kidney, right? Anyway, we'll. So kidneys, wink, wink, nod, nod. Anyway, but Bitcoin is an open ledger, and so privacy is not so private actually on there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the second feature of Dash is it has essentially a mixing protocol built right into it.
Which is
Coin mixing.
okay.
So the problem on Bitcoin with privacy is, it's an open ledger. Everybody can see, so when a transaction occurs, you see exactly from what address, the coin went from and went to. And, basically if you're able, to be a computer wizard and to identify some of those wallets, so for example, if you buy something online with a wallet address, say at a website,
Okay.
that publishes this address to make payments to, then everybody's able to identify. We know that somebody made this purchase here, and if you use that coin in another transaction that in any way identified you personally,
Yeah.
they can connect those transactions.
Really?
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because like I said, it's an open ledger that can be examined by anybody, and if you analyze it, you can actually trace the coins from the moment it was created to where it currently is. And if you do enough mapping of it, and if there's enough data points that you can match up a wallet address with a person or an entity,
Yeah.
you can actually get a pretty good idea of what people are doing with their Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's already people out there doing that then, right?
Their analysis? Oh yeah. I'll guarantee you. I guarantee you that people like the NSA, the FBI, have computer scientists that are totally mapping out. There are academics that are also doing it. That's how we know that how it can be done. So there's a privacy problem with Bitcoin.
Okay.
And so one of the solutions in Bitcoin, that is what's called coin mixing. And so basically, let's say you have your one Bitcoin in your wallet, and there are services, mixing services that say, okay, let's get everybody together who wants to kind of obscure their transaction history, essentially. We'll put all Bitcoins in together, we'll mix them up, and then we'll randomly, send them back to you.
Wow.
Right? And so,
Okay.
so essentially what that does is kind of breaks the chain of a transaction history. So, so your one Bitcoin has gone into this mixing service and has come out, but nobody knows where it went to, right? So they, if they're looking at if they trace your Bitcoin to you, and then it goes into a mixing service, they don't know, they've lost track of it. And so now you've got a Bitcoin that you can use to buy something privately.
Good.
So,
all right, I get that, yeah.
Okay, so in Bitcoin, this is a service that's provided by a third party. Right? Somebody has to okay, I have this service, send your Bitcoin to me, I'll mix them up and send them back to you.
Is there a cost to that?
And there's a cost to that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a cost because there's a process, it's a service, a processing service.
Okay.
Now, the problem on Bitcoin with the mixing service is you're depending on this third party, right? To take the coin in and send it back to you. So, another kind of principle of Bitcoin is being trustless, right? You want to be able to not have to trust any third party to complete a transaction.
Well,
right?
now we're getting more people in the mix.
And so this is like, okay, you have to trust that mixing service to do a few things. One, you have to trust that the mixing service, one, will give you the coin back after you've mixed it, right? Two, you have to trust that they're not keeping any records of how they're doing the mixing, and records that could be subpoenaed, for example.
Yeah.
That would destroy the whole point of mixing it. So anyway, so in Bitcoin, there's that little problem with third-party mixers. Dash is different because in Dash, they've actually built mixing into the protocol.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to, you can mix your coins without relying on any third party. And
an extra fee for this.
But it's a minuscule fee. I mean, relative to the value that you're getting. So it's like a mining fee, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's another feature of that. So these are things that set Dash apart as a cryptocurrency. These are those two things, the private send and the instant send, are its basic features that set it apart. And that's what got me interested in it.
Wow.
And why I adopted Dash for Dash messaging. Okay. So.
And kind of explain what Dash messaging, who would use it and why?
Right. Good question. Dash messaging. Okay. So think about it. So basically what you're doing, it's a messaging system where you attach a little bit of money to it that makes it worthwhile. Say I'm sending a message from me to you.
Okay.
Number one, this is useful. This is not a system that you would use to communicate with your mother or your wife.
This is not texting.
Well, it's not texting. It's not texting in the SMS sense of it. But it is text
like
messaging.
You would sit there and chat back and forth with somebody.
Or you could.
Oh, you can. Okay.
You could.
Okay.
You could, as long if they're sitting at their computer or on their phone, you can go back and forth.
Okay.
With it.
All right.
But you don't need to attach $1 to your messages to get your mom to read them, right? Or your wife, or a friend, or that sort of thing. So this is a messaging system that makes it work for people who don't necessarily know each other. I call it it's a messaging system for weak or non-existent relationships, right? I'll give you like the simplest use case. I call it the celebrity fan use case, right? So think of a celebrity, somebody you admire, who's famous and that sort of thing. Now imagine, how would you get if you wanted to communicate with them, have a conversation with them,
jump over their wall in Beverly Hills, stalk their house.
Yeah, exactly. Trip their alarms and risk the dogs being loosed on you and all that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh no, but I mean,
end up on TMZ and
yeah. Well, that is one way actually. So that is one way, and that can be effective, but that doesn't scale, right?
No,
so,
it doesn't.
Anyway, so you imagine that famous person that you're trying to reach, that you want to, for whatever reason, if it's just to say, hey, I think you're great, or it could be for any other reasons.
Okay.
So you can imagine that you just can't go look up their email address and send them an email. And even if you could, it's going to be in email inbox buried with thousands of others, right? So basically, what if you could attach some money to the message to make it worthwhile for them to look at it at the very least?
Like a little gift to read your message.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I
really want to talk to you, so here's $5.
Right, exactly. Now, so that's a basic idea, and that's not exactly new. There are actually services out there that are doing that.
All right.
But here's the deal on that. How does one set the price? Right? How much is one celebrity worth? Right?
Okay.
Arguably, a big famous celebrity worth more than a B-list celebrity, so to speak.
Yeah. Somebody wants to talk to Kim Kardashian.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what there needs to be, and this is kind of a feature of Dash messaging, is a pricing system, I'll call it a pricing algorithm, that determines how much every user actually in the system has a price. So you and I
They
go.
can value how much you are
Yeah.
to talk to.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
I wonder what
So,
I'm worth.
yeah.
I have to pay people to talk to me.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised actually how much you are worth.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, now I'm
Yeah.
interested. Now I want to go find out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Well,
I want to know how much you're worth to talk to.
Well, you could actually go to Dash Messaging right now.
Okay, and that address is, of course, http://d-msg.com, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
d-msg.com.
Okay.
So basically, you go there and it says, everybody has a price. For a price, anybody can be reached. What is your price?
Oh,
So
all
you can
right.
go in, and you can actually go in. You can enter as a guest and poke around it.
And I
try
did
it out.
sign up for this. I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did
You've
sign up
seen
for
it.
this. So, but I was, like you said, we have a million things going on in our head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you sign up for this, and then what happens?
You sign up for. Okay, so once you get into it, there are in the system there are actually private messages and public messages, right?
Okay.
So what we've been talking about, the celebrity fan thing, is private messaging, right? From one user to another. Public messaging is where, actually, advertising is an example of a public message, right?
Okay.
And so advertisers are actually paying money to reach people.
So Coke would be sending me a message saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
drink a Coke."
Yeah, exactly. And so, Coke is reaching a wide audience. There's nothing, there's not huge margins on that.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be paying very much, right?
Yeah.
But let's look at, what's this? You got some equipment here.
Yeah. So
Zoom.
So Zoom. I have a little Zoom recorder
Right, and you
here
probably
in front of me.
paid a good chunk of money for that.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't
probably,
free.
Yeah.
And I got it second hand too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
the value, I mean, they're relatively pretty new, but this is the H6 handy recorder, which is like their latest and greatest new kid on the block thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Zoom probably would like to sell you a brand new one. In fact, the latest, greatest whiz-bang
They
features.
seem to
kind
come
of
out
thing.
every 6 months. They come out with a new one.
Yeah. So they'd be really interested in sending you a message, right?
Yeah.
And they would you'd probably be surprised how much they would be willing to pay to send somebody who's currently a user of Zoom equipment and in fact using old Zoom equipment and probably would be really interested in new Zoom equipment, right?
Wow. Okay.
Right. So they would be posting targeted public messages to people like you, right? And those messages, it's basically Google. If you go to Google and you got Google AdWords,
Yeah.
you know how they work. They basically have an auctioning system where you are bidding a certain amount to get your ad to show up on
Yeah.
their search results.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar setup with Dash messaging,
Okay.
right? So a targeted message to somebody like you is going to be worth more than somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So
They're not into recording or anything like that. They're some guy that works in masonry. They don't want to sell him a Zoom recorder.
exactly. So you don't target the message
Yeah.
to them, right? Anyway, so it'd be interesting to see what audio equipment is going for in Google AdWords. But the problem in Google, when you're paying Google on their platform, Google's receiving that money.
Yes.
Right. So you do a search for high-end audio, recording equipment.
Yep.
And boom, comes up Zoom with their Google AdWords program. And if you click on it, they bid for that position. And then if you click on it, Google gets paid,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
In Dash messaging, what happens if a message is targeted to you and you view that message, you're the one that gets paid.
Oh,
That's the difference with Dash
that's
messaging.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So this public messaging, which is like advertising basically, is essentially going to set a base price for people, right? And it's also how they're going to initially generate revenue in Dash messaging, right? So when you go, actually right now when you or anybody in your audience go there, it's in beta and there's very few people that are on there. So part of what you're hearing is my grand vision for how it's going to work. It
Yeah.
actually functions. Technically, it's working exactly the way I
Works.
describe it.
Yeah.
What is missing is millions of people using it.
I know what you mean.
So yeah, exactly. but when you go in there, what you're going to see are public messages from me, right?
Okay.
I've posted these public messages, and I'm actually, and what I'm using those messages for is to explain a little bit about how the system works,
Okay.
right? And so those messages are actually, what I'm paying for those messages actually kind of set your base price as a new user when you come in.
All right.
So with a brand new user comes in, they're going to have a base price of about $1.
All right.
Right? So to send you a message when you first come in, it'll cost $1 for another user to send you a message,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And so then everybody has a price. So when people start, so when you go into it, you make initial revenue from these public ads, from these public messages.
Yeah.
Then you're going to use that to generate revenue that you can then use to send a message to your celebrity.
Really? Oh, so
Yeah.
now how do maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but here,
Sure.
but how would a celebrity find out about you getting to use
the
it?
great chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on. That's basically. So my challenge is for this thing to work, for this thing to take off. I have to get people in there that people want to send messages to, right?
Yes.
And so celebrities would be a great place to start.
Yeah.
And so
Richard Branson, Bill Gates.
yeah. They're the easy one, the most obvious.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my particular challenge right now is to figure out ways to pitch this to people like that. So,
Huh.
and I've got some ideas that I'm working on
All right.
on exactly how to do that. But that's my big challenge right now as a
I-
business person.
That's great. I love that whole idea, and I can see how it would be attractive to a lot of people
right,
and advertisers and people obviously using it, getting paid to use it.
right,
That's
exactly,
phenomenal.
exactly.
So
Anyway, so that's just the beginning of it. Actually,
Okay.
there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, but that's the basics of it.
that's amazing. Okay, so people, make sure you go to that. Sign up today at d-msg.com, d-msg.com
And when you-
-messaging.
And when you go there, the first thing you see are messages from me, and these are messages from me that are paying you.
So when people click on it, they get paid.
They get paid.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes. And the whole thing is designed to incentivize conversation. So it's not just about me sending a messages being sent at
Yeah.
people. It's designed to incentivize the exchange. So what you want to do when you go in there is you actually want to reply to one of my messages, because your price is going to be about $1. I keep my price low, so mine's going to be I don't know 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time we exchange message, you're at $1, I'm at 50 cents. You make 50 cents every time we do an exchange,
Wow.
right? Different people have different prices. The people that have higher prices generate more revenue than the people with lower prices, right?
Yeah.
So the incentive is to engage in conversation. It's not just to send a message. It's so what you want to do is get on there and get in a conversation with me, because the more you chat with me, the more money you make.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm on there too, so make sure you guys find me in there, Dean Kirkland.
You know what? I'll set you up. There's a feature called Ask Me Anything Anytime.
Yeah.
Right? So you know how Reddit has, their AMAs or Ask Me
Yes.
Anythings,
Mm-hmm.
which are kind of events, that they set up. Well, mine is called Ask Me Anything Anytime, and it's basically a directory of users.
Okay.
And what I can do is get you set up in one of those things.
Yeah.
And people can go and they'll see you there and start up conversations with you.
Now, can businesses create their own profile in there?
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
so Crypto the Wonder Dog, we can have our own profile in there.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah. Here's what we're going to do then.
Okay. All right.
Here's
let's do
what we're
this.
going to do, because I need to show you exactly how you can promote your product, your brand,
Okay.
on the platform, and do it in a way that makes sense and is cost effective.
Okay.
So we'll do that. We'll work on that.
Okay, we'll do another show where we'll call in, because typically I do these live, and I get the screen up on the screen, and we can you watch it. It's a live show, and you
Right.
can kind of tell me where to go, and we can
yeah.
make that happen.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that actually would be.
Yeah.
When you start getting into this, when you start thinking about different people having different prices, you start thinking about, how do I maximize my price?
Can you brag about this later?
can your price?
Yeah, can you brag about that?
That's what I'm. That's kind of what I'm going for, right?
You're $5.
Hey,
I'm 10.
I'm 10, dude. What's wrong with you? No, but it gets in. So then you're like, how much is Kim Kardashian worth? Right?
Yeah.
How much are people willing to spend to chat with her?
That's great.
But then you start getting into things, well, maybe I don't want a higher price. Maybe I have reasons that I want to be accessible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you might not want to be the highest priced star in the universe because
You're going to get less clicks on your
less
less messages.
Yeah.
So if you're a lonely guy, you don't want to have a $10 price on your chat. You want to have a lower one. People come talk to you.
Exactly.
Right?
So because when you have different prices, this is what's interesting about it. When you have different prices, there's I call it the price differential, right? So you got the Kim Kardashian, you got lonely guy.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's $50, lonely guy is 50 cents.
You're talking about Kanye,
right? Sure, yeah. They're in separate bedrooms, right? And the only way he can get in touch with her is like, okay, all right,
he's got to get on the message.
I'm going to drop the $50 to send her a message.
Okay.
No, but here's the thing about that. The problem that Kanye is going to have is he will have a very little price differential.
Yeah.
Right. So what's her name? Kim Kardashian has very little incentive to chat with Kanye. Yeah. Because their prices are going to be kind of close together. Her greatest incentive is to chat with lonely guy. Right. Yeah. So she's at $50. She nets $49.50 every time they exchange messages. Oh. She wants to chat with lonely guy. She doesn't want to chat with Kanye.
So lonely guy gets a little cash back from Kim when she replies.
She doesn't get cash. He gets 50 cents.
He gets a little 50 cents though. Right?
Yeah. But he's talking to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. You go back to your friends. Hey man, she paid me 50 cents to talk to me.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here's the thing: the more conversation you have, the higher your price.
Yeah.
So as they're chatting,
is this on a scaling thing? Like, it automatically scales you up when the more people talk to you?
Exactly. So every time Kim sends a message, every time they exchange messages, both their prices go up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you get a long conversation, you could be up to $10 by the time you're done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Awesome. That's great.
But you end up, if you're chatting with Kim Kardashian, though, you're paying, a couple $100, to get your price up to $10, right? But Kanye can afford that.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
But like I said, the incentive is there to connect the very popular person with the least popular person, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
it
gets interesting.
To talk to your fans.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, And there's no spam in this system. There's no such thing as spam.
That's perfect.
Every other free channel of communication, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, which is quote unquote free, is not free actually, and eventually spam invades it.
Yeah.
Right. It's
always.
It's happening to text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening to on our cell phones now, we're getting robocalls.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because it costs nothing to do it. Mm-hmm. And a system like this, no spam. There's no such thing as spam because you're only looking at messages that people are willing to pay the price for.
Created the perfect environment.
Ignore the rest.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that's great. Okay, make sure you guys go there. We're talking to Jim Bursch at Dash Message, and it's d-msg.com, right?
That's right. Dash messaging with digital cash.
Okay. And this isn't your only pony in the show. You've got other things going on here. Another dog in the race, all right?
Yeah.
At Crypto the Wonder Dog Show. You also have a Dash Bug Bounty Program.
That's correct.
And you're not putting the price on the head of any bugs, but what is this?
Actually, we kind of are. The whole point is to put a price on finding bugs in Dash software or Dash programs.
Awesome.
So basically, the Dash Bug Bounty. I don't know how familiar you are with bug bounty programs.
I've heard. Forgive me. I'm not the brightest on the blockchain block. But I've heard of bounty before, and I've seen it thrown around willy nilly here and there. But I don't really know what it is. What is it? Other people out there like me, what is a bounty?
So basically a bug bounty program, what it is you can pay people to hack your systems, and if they find vulnerabilities or find bugs or vulnerabilities, A bug bounty program is set up so that you can get paid for responsibly reporting the issue instead
Wow.
of exploiting it.
Instead
right?
of exploiting it and letting your friends in the back door and
Yeah, exactly.
taking all the dash.
Exactly. So a bug bounty program is a program where you know, hackers, quote unquote. We like to call them researchers. We don't.
It
we
sounds
don't,
better, doesn't it?
Yeah,
on a resume.
we don't want to call them hackers. Yeah, exactly. Well, it depends on what circles you're operating in,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
anyway, we don't call them hackers. We call them researchers. And basically, the program is set up. Okay, here's how you can report to us, you know, any bugs or vulnerabilities that you find, and we will pay you. You know, depending how serious it is, we'll pay you a bounty for reporting it to us.
Wow. Okay.
So currently in the Dash Bug Bounty program, we go up to $10,000 is what
Wow.
we'll pay for
Quite a bounty there.
for a priority one. Yeah. And anyway, so this is something that I set up for Dash. So Dash, you know, it's set up for the protocol.
Okay.
We're also testing. Dash is developing a wallet, a new wallet based on copay. There's a wallet, a very popular Bitcoin wallet called Copay.
Okay.
It was actually, I think it was developed by BitPay.
BitPay. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
They're a big kind of merchant services payment company for Bitcoin. And
Yeah,
they
right.
developed and open sourced a wallet called Copay. And so Dash is developing a Dash version of the Copay wallet. And we've included that in, it's actually a closed program right now, but we've included that in a bug bounty program to basically get it tested so that consumers out there, so that users out there can be confident that the wallet is thoroughly tested and vetted.
Hacker approved.
Hacker approved. So yeah.
All right.
It's very interesting when you start getting involved in that world.
Have you had anybody that has been involved with this program bust in the back door yet?
Bust in the back door? No.
For Dash. So it's pretty secure then already.
Oh yeah, well it has to be. So the Dash code itself is originally a fork of the Bitcoin code.
Okay.
It's not a fork of the blockchain. It was forked by a guy named Evan Duffield. Basically took the code and forked it and created these additional features and created what became Dash Digital Cash.
Okay.
So its code base is the Bitcoin code base.
Okay.
And then it forked, so it's gone and developed in its own direction. So from on the protocol level, in order for it to have any value, it has to be secure.
Okay.
And Dash is currently it's 12th by market capitalization. So if you go to Coinmarket or
Coinmarketcap, right?
Yeah, Coinmarketcap.com.
Mm-hmm.
They're 12th on the list there.
And you've been climbing, right? I mean,
No, actually, Dash has dropped. For a while, for the longest time, Dash was in the top 10.
Was it?
Yeah, and it got up to like 6 or 7, and it was right there with Litecoin for a while.
Oh.
But then, anyway, in the last couple of months, it's dropped to 12th, which is not. We're talking hundreds of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I mean,
to be in the top 12 is not.
Yeah,
it's
the top 50 should be.
Yeah, and it's it's nice when it's in the top 10. It would be nice if it was still in the top 10.
Yeah.
But what does it mean? I mean, anyway, so it's nice. It doesn't really mean a lot. I mean, it means something that it's valued and but you can't overestimate really what it means to be in the top 10.
Yeah, and when you say fork, I know that this is another one of the things that I'm a little hazy on myself.
Sure.
Is fork, and I've heard that a few times. What does that mean?
Basically, okay. So so these things are usually developed for the most part in open source. So which means that the code is openly available for anybody to to work with it, to modify it and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Right. So what you have is you'll have a code repository. So that you have so Bitcoin you can go and there's a Bitcoin repository where you can download the Bitcoin code. Right.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. And you can modify it and that sort of thing. And if the people that control the main repository like the changes that you made, they'll integrate it back into the code and the base. I guess it would be the base code, right? Now, what somebody can do when they're forking the code is they can make a copy of it. And they can make changes to it, and instead of saying, "Hey, do you want?" Instead of asking, it's called a pull request.
Okay.
Right, and so instead of asking the people that manage the code base to integrate your changes, you can decide, no, I want to do something entirely different, and so you essentially have a copy of the code, and you can start developing it. This is a fork. You can start developing it all on separately, and so it basically becomes a separate project.
Is that how they did, like, there's Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash? Is that kind of what you're?
Well, it's like that, but what happened with Bitcoin Cash? So what I'm talking about is a fork of the code base.
Okay.
Right. So this is the code. What you had with Bitcoin Cash is a fork of the blockchain.
So there's fork of the blockchain, fork of the code. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Two different things.
So Bitcoin Cash is a fork of the code, but they also forked the blockchain.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So when Evan Duffield forked Bitcoin and created Dash, he did not include the whole existing Bitcoin blockchain in that. Right.
Okay.
So when he forked the code, there was an empty blockchain in it, so to speak. And so what he did was he forked it and started a whole new currency from zero.
Wow.
Right? Whereas Bitcoin Cash, they forked they forked the code and they forked the blockchain. So when you go to Bitcoin Cash, they had the whole Bitcoin blockchain included in it.
I wish people at home could see our visualizations of what we're doing here, because I get it. I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I wish they could see this. This is great.
Yeah. What I'm doing hand signals,
Yeah.
and it's like an amoeba, right, or a bacteria that or a cell actually that divides. Right, and its DNA, a copy of its DNA goes into two different cells. Yeah, and then those, one cell can evolve in one direction, and one cell evolves in another direction. Yeah, so that's a fork.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, I wish I was that smart to be able to do things like that. But
yeah, I wish I was. All I got going for me is I'm just smart enough to generalize and get it somewhat conceptually. That's the thing about this space. I mean, this cryptocurrency space is...
And even though it's been around for a few years, I mean, it's still what they say in the infantile state of this is so brand new.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin is still considered beta, I think. I'm not sure. But at least it may never not be beta, or because it'll never be final, right?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So and so when you see ICOs and that sort of thing, so what happened was there's this thing called Ether, which is entirely different than Bitcoin, but was developed with the same concepts of anyway. And then we get Ether is all about what's called smart contracts, and it's
another thing that I'm hearing, and I still have zero idea what that really means.
Yeah, it's it's a tough thing to grasp.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, and it's one of those things where it's going to be magical things that happen in a box someplace, and it's like as long as it delivers what it's supposed to deliver, I'll work with it.
Okay.
So anyway, so Ether's created this platform that enables you to like very easily spin off coins, these things like Bitcoin, but also including a smart contract functionality, and so it's basically a platform that's flexible to be able to do lots of different things with it.
Yeah.
And so what you're seeing in these ICOs is everybody coming with all kinds of crazy ideas of what they can use this technology for.
Wow.
And every one is a fork in a sense. So each one is kind of independent of the other, but is operating with the same protocol or same platform. And so that's why you see all this proliferation of ICOs.
Okay.
Because there's also a lot of money flowing into it.
There is.
So,
I mean, you just and I'm sure the people that are just getting into it, when they hear that about an ICO and that you can buy it at this much and it's gonna instantly go to the moon, and so they throw their life savings into it, and
well, what it does,
half of them are scams.
Yeah, well, who knows?
They're not scams, but they're not going to. Half of them already failed, right? Most ICOs?
I don't know. I personally, I don't follow that stuff very.
Okay.
I really don't.
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert when it comes to ICOs. I am familiar with bubbles though, and there's a lot. I was there for the dotcom bubble.
Yeah.
And we saw the real estate bubble in 2007, and so I recognize the behavior.
Yeah.
So this has a lot of
frenzy,
telltale signs.
the blood in the water, and the sharks are circling, and
yeah. Well, the thing is, here's the thing about it: is there's so much blood in the water, the sharks are like, okay.
Yeah, they're going to be here a while.
There's plenty of us. We don't have to start chewing on each other. There's plenty of blood here for us to coexist. when the blood starts leaving, and then the sharks start eating themselves.
Okay, got it.
Get into trouble. But anyway, so I don't know if I forgot where I was at.
Okay. I know we've been going down a long.
I know. Oh my gosh!
From the bounty program to sharks.
Sharks swimming in blood.
So
who aren't eating each other yet?
Yeah. So the bounty program is a new thing, and
the bounty program's been running since the summer.
Since summer, okay.
And I can tell you, it's been productive.
Has it?
We haven't found any,
Have you had takers on this? I mean, people that have said, "Hey, I can do this," and they haven't.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great to know, right? That people.
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm running the program. I'm excited when I get.
Who would pay that if somebody broke in? Who's writing the check for that?
It's paid by Dash.
Oh,
so
great, in Dash.
Yeah. So let me tell you.
Paid by Dash in Dash.
Well, actually, no. So I'm using a company called BugCrowd. Is a big. They're a company that works with hackers, researchers.
Okay.
Has relationships with thousands of them, and they've actually created a platform for bug bounty programs.
Okay.
And so basically, I contracted, or on behalf of Dash, I contracted with them. To set up their, a program on their platform.
Okay.
And so that was actually paid for in Dash, but any researchers that are working with their system will get paid in US dollars through their system. But it does happen that I will be contacted directly, or members of the Dash core development team will be contacted. And alerted, and we will pay. We'll pay in Dash bounties out in Dash itself. So
now, when they're doing this, I mean, you guys are watching them try to hack, right? Like you've got all of their information. So if they actually got in and they're like, no, couldn't make it, didn't get in, and
not really. It's not. It's a little bit like that. I mean, not with. Not when you're hacking, when we're having people hack into wallets, for example.
Okay.
So that's a wallet is a program, right? It's an application.
Yeah.
And
it's not leather in your back pocket. It's a
right. It's a little program. It's in your front pocket, usually on your phone, right? So. So it's
it shouldn't be, right? From what I'm hearing, you shouldn't have your wallet on your phone, right?
No, well, you shouldn't have. Well, you should. What should be on your phone is a wallet. No more money than you would put in your leather wallet. Okay. Right. So this is the whole point of Dash Digital Cash, is to be something that you can have a wallet on your phone, and you have $20 in it, $100 in it for.
Pocket change.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you should have, on your phone.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Now, but arguably, a wallet on your iPhone
Yeah.
is safer than a wallet on your Windows laptop,
Okay.
right? Because the operating system matters, right? So
And Macs are pretty. And
Macs are more
relatively secure. Yeah.
Yeah. Macs are more secure than a Windows machine.
Yeah. I've never been hacked on my Mac, and that's all. I'm all Mac. So
Yeah.
Never had a virus. Never had a bug. Never had anybody bust into my Mac email. So
Right, exactly. So, so the operating system that you're using, an iPhone is more secure than an Android phone.
Okay.
Arguably, both are more secure than a Windows machine that's connected to the internet.
All right.
So and the safest of all is a hardware wallet, like a Trezor, for example.
Yes.
That is not connected to the internet and is basically hardened against external invasion.
Yeah, it's like a USB drive thing, right?
Dongle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little dongle thing. Yeah.
It's basic. Yeah, exactly. It's a USB drive, but it's more than that.
Yeah,
right?
it's got other hardware inside of it and
yeah,
software and okay.
Exactly.
I don't have one, but
Yeah, so basically, they cost about $100 to get,
Okay.
and so you'd have to have enough Dash or enough cryptocurrency, whatever it is, or Bitcoin, to say, okay, I need to spend $100 to secure this.
okay, got it.
But if you're, and you can mess around this stuff for under $100, and you can, you're not going to lose your, anyway. So it's when you start, when the amounts that you're are working with or dealing with get bigger and bigger, that you need to start seriously
Yeah.
thinking about how you're securing it, because there's a slogan, "Be your own bank," and if you're going to be your own bank, you have to secure it like a bank.
Yeah, I guess
and,
so, huh?
And it's wonderful that we can do this. We have this option, right? But what was it? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
So
It does. Yeah. Okay. So the Dash bug bounty program is it's not quite in full swing yet, but
It's in full swing.
Oh, it's in full swing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So okay. So but then you're getting how do you guys find these hackers? Are they coming to you or are you?
sometimes they come to us through, if you go to dash.org is the main website for Dash Digital Cash.
Okay.
And so the core team is reachable through there. We have a forum, and so.
And there's a contact thing on there, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are ways. Yeah. So
I guess if
we've
you're a
had
hacker, you'd know how to get there.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
and then also BugCrowd is out there developing relationships with researchers. And
Crowd.
BugCrowd.
Okay.
BugCrowd.com. So it's
All right.
it's bugcrowd.com /Dash Digital Cash. All one word is the program that's there
Oh
on
yeah,
BugCrowd.
we have it. Yeah, bug. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Once
But
again,
you can, if you have any questions about this,
Yeah.
the best way to reach me, Dash messaging.
that's right. Dash
You can
messaging.
send me a
That's
message, and it would be very profitable.
d-msg.com.
Yeah.
I'll get you right there. Sign up. Sign up today. And one more thing that we're going to talk about here is something that's kind of close to my heart. I'm a filmmaker, and I just heard about that this morning. Silicon Beach Hustle.
That's right.
And I'm a little hurt that I wasn't invited to be part of that project. But what is that? What is it?
You know what?
What?
I'm inviting you.
Are you?
You are. We are at the beginning. So let me tell you about it.
Okay.
Real quick.
Go ahead,
Silicon
go ahead.
Beach Hustle.
Okay.
The social engineering of a startup.
And this is a movie.
This is a. It's evolving, but it's my original
Docudrama?
conception. Documentary project.
Okay.
So here's the idea.
With actors and everything, or
Actors. Yep. We're
Oh.
casting next week.
are you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Right on.
So go to siliconbeachhustle.com. I've got an intro video there that'll explain what's going on.
Okay.
But let me tell you. So the idea behind Silicon Beach Hustle. So we're down here in LA. I don't know if you're familiar with Silicon Beach. It's
I am.
Venice. It's Santa Monica. It's it's LA's version of Silicon Valley.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't know that.
Yeah.
great. Okay.
It's a whole scene, right?
Besides the homeless people, they're out there with.
no, well,
And that guy with the turban. Have you seen that guy with the turban?
yeah, Perry. Perry.
Yeah. When I quick little story.
Harry Perry or something like that.
Yeah, when I was out here, I actually came out here with my class. I graduated in Texas in high school, and our senior trip brought us to California, and I was kind of behind that whole push. And there was all 18 of us from our graduating class came to California on our senior trip.
18? You had a graduating class of 18?
18.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Isn't that
What
great?
town? Where were you from?
Whiteface, Texas.
Are you kidding me?
Whiteface, Texas.
Whiteface, Texas.
And our claim to fame was
oh my gosh.
Mel. What the heck's the guy's name? Oh, he's gonna kill me now. Shoot, I was gonna say Mel Tillis, not Mel Tillis.
Singer?
Yeah, it was a singer.
Torme?
No, he sang that song "Happiness Is Lubbock, Texas" in my rearview mirror.
Okay, no, you got
God.
me.
Oh,
you got
man,
me.
I can't believe this. And I saw him. It was great. I was golfing at Riviera Country Club, and I saw him in there.
Oh, you're
and
kidding.
I talked to him. I said, "Hey, I know where you're from," and he couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Anyway.
But I came out here, and we went to Venice, and I had just seen some movie. And they saw that cat playing his guitar, his electric guitar.
On his roller skates.
On his rollerblades. Yeah, his rollerblades.
Yeah.
And I saw him, and I was like, oh, my God. I thought he was I thought he was a character that was made up, but it was
no,
real.
it's a real, yeah.
A real
I don't know
cat.
if he's, I don't know, I can't think, I'm trying to
I
think
just
if
saw
I've seen
something
him.
not too long ago. He was still out there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like an icon.
Anyway,
So, all right, so go on.
that's quote unquote Silicon Beach, right?
Silicon Beach, yeah.
And so the big star of Silicon Beach right now is Snapchat, right? Because that's where they were
Is it?
founded. And where their
Snapchat was in Venice, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They've got
Okay.
their headquarters is there,
Wow.
and they're buying up. They're really contributing to the gentrification of Venice Beach by buying up buildings. Actually, anyways, by buying up buildings and that sort of thing. Anyway, so it's a whole thing. It's basically the intersection of Hollywood and technology and hustlers and real estate and ICOs are big. And anyway, it's a whole thing.
Wow.
It's the whole venture capital startup kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've created Silicon Beach Hustle because I'm not really, sort of Dash Messaging is a startup, right? And so right now it's self-funded, but, it's time for it to, kind of grow up and do its, become a real company.
Put his big boy britches on.
Yeah, exactly. And so that means like, hustling, or not hustling, but, making pitches to venture capitalists. Well, the whole process just turns my stomach. I'm just not into that.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
Asking for money is horrible.
Oh, yeah. And you're competing with all these other people.
Yeah.
And you're competing with...
You want to be humble, but then at the same time, you want to be like, look, you really want to give me money.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I had to figure out a way. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this in a way that I'm comfortable with, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so I came up with the idea, and I also, I'm a middle-aged guy, and this is a world, this is a world of young people right out of college kind of thing, right? And so, VCs love to, get, the newly graduated from UCLA, USC, young, bright, brilliant, blah blah blahs, and I don't fit any of that.
I don't either.
So how am I going to do this? And how am I going to do this in a way, that I can tolerate? And so the idea I came up with, what if I hired actors to play the part of the perfect founders team, and they will make the pitch to investors.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the idea, kind of and why don't I just kind of film the whole process?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've kind of written like little bios of what I call the perfect founders team. A CEO, a CEO who's a business school graduate, great talker, great salesman, like Steve Jobs kind of wannabe. Then I've got my chief technical officer who's a autism spectrum, very shy, very awkward, computer geek, but the genius behind
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Well, Mark Zuckerberg was a psychology major.
Was he?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh. He was a little nerdy though, and
Oh yeah.
He was,
But
on the spectrum.
No,
kind of-
I don't think
he's
he
not?
is.
No?
I don't think he is.
Oh.
Not in my.
He just seems like that. I mean, I guess because I watched that movie.
Well, but there's kind of this
That guy
nerd,
seems like
this
he's on
geek,
the-
cool kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. No, I'm talking about barely verbal autism spectrum, right?
Yes.
So anyway,
Not quite Rain Man, but
yeah, exactly.
okay.
You know, just maybe a little bit more verbal than Rain Man.
Right.
I shouldn't be teasing like that, but anyway, but that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
And so the chief.
We're going to get so many letters from the Autism Foundation now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, the chief technical officer is has that kind of stuff, and then I have my chief marketing officer, who's like a fashionista who has a YouTube channel and is all into selfies and is in yeah, exactly. And so that's my chief marketing officer.
Has every 14-year-old girl on the planet following her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is my perfect founders team, and so I'm now casting that perfect founders team. So next week, Wednesday,
And this is March 8th today.
Today's on March 15th.
Today's March 7th. So then on the 15th.
On the
so
15th is
day.
when we're actually casting.
8
So
days from
I
today.
sent out notices. This being LA, you can swing a cat and hit an actor
all the way around.
three times around. Yeah. Anyway, and we picked out 15 that we like, and we're actually going to be filming auditions of them.
Really?
On next Thursday.
Wow.
And for each of those roles, and then the idea is, and again, this is evolving, but so the idea now is to do kind of what I call it a reverse Shark Tank.
Okay.
Right, and I'm going to call it Shark Bait.
Shark bait.
Shark Bait. Right, and so the idea is that my perfect founders team, and we're going to train them on how to make the perfect pitch, to VCs, and then we're going to do essentially, they're going to do their presentation, and then we're going to kind of turn the tables on the sharks, so to speak, and so we are going to pick the sharks,
Really?
right, instead of vice versa.
Oh.
That's the idea. I mean. We'll see how it actually pans out. But originally, my idea was to do kind of a documentary thing and actually send them into pitch meetings and into these events, because around town there are these pitch events and venture capital, and you can actually make a 10-minute pitch to a panel of blah blah blah. It's a whole scene.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, my original thought was, okay, I'll get these actors together and I'll send them to one of these things. We won't tell anybody that they're actors.
Yeah.
And then, we'll just have a documentary film crew following them and see what happens, right? Ideally, we would get, create a bidding war and, blah, 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 become this big, huge thing.
Yeah.
That was my, that's my original idea. And then, then you start actually doing it. It's like, wow, this is not going to be that easy.
Oh.
Getting people getting actors, you don't want to deceive anybody, and it's like it's a whole thing. So I'm moving more towards Shark Bait.
Okay.
So setting up a kind of in filming a kind of it'd be kind of a parody of Shark Tank, right? And the idea is to try to turn the tables, on this whole shark thing.
Yeah.
And so my idea, and again, it's evolving, is once I get my team together, I get them all trained in how to make these pitches, and then I bring in and I shoot kind of a parody of a Shark Tank episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get some actual VCs that would be willing to participate in this.
Wow. Well, if you're a VC out there, listen to this, and
Yes.
we're going to have a link to how to get in touch here.
Yeah, you can
And,
siliconbeach.com is a Silicon Beach Hustle. Silicon Beach Hustle.
All right.
.com, and you can always reach me through
Dash
messaging. That's right.
Yes, dash messaging.
And it will be profitable for you to do so.
Yes. d-msg.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you know what? If you want to come out,
Yeah, I do.
it's a small space, and we've got
Right.
15 actors in one day that we're going to be auditioning them.
Yeah.
But I want it to be fun. The whole point is for it to be fun. Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's fun. I want it to be creative. This is the way, I can't do the pitch to VCs. I've tried, I've crafted, Twitter with an eBay business model is my elevator thing. And I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's I've got it built. It works. Go use it.
Yeah.
Try it out, and then tell me if you want to invest in it. I don't want to go. Anyway, but this is a way I can kind of get involved and do that and get the word out in a way that's creative and fun for me in the process and for everybody that gets involved.
Yeah.
So
wow.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of things going on, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
But that's it.
You've been out of town for a while, right?
No, I was just last week. My wife and I were in Maui for a week. So.
Oh man, that must have been horrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, I think the weather here has actually been better.
Has it? Was it raining over there?
It was. Yeah, it was kind of cloudy, rainy, but it's cloudy, rainy. It's 75 degrees, right here. Here in LA,
we're 55 when it's raining.
Oh my God, it's 55 degrees.
break out the parka.
Oh my God, yeah. So anyway, it's not, that's warm tropical air. It's nice for a change.
Well, my buddy lives in Vegas and sent me a video the other day. It was snowing in Vegas.
In Vegas,
in
really?
Vegas, snowing.
I know it gets cold out there in the desert, but snow.
So
wow.
it was a video of backyard. It was flurries. Looked like he was in Denver.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
crazy.
People suffer with that weather. Oh my God!
First world problems here. Oh my God! It's snowing in Vegas.
God, get me to Maui. I gotta get out of here. Anyway,
I do love Maui.
I was just out of town for a week, just for a little vacation with my wife.
All right, and you do a lot of traveling? Are you?
No.
No.
Oh wait, no. I mean, I have, but not a lot. No.
I don't think I've taken a vacation in years.
Oh really?
No, I didn't go on a honeymoon. I got married 3 years ago, and we got married in Reno.
Yeah.
And I guess I thought that was our honeymoon. We
In
actually got
Reno.
married on a Saturday, and we went out that night and partied with my buddy out there. And then we got up in the morning before they were up, and my wife packed the car, and we left before they even got up. We're like, we're out of here. But
all you had to do is go up the hill to Tahoe, and you could have.
We passed Tahoe.
Yeah.
We drove up there like idiots instead of flying. It's a long drive to Reno.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
From here.
From here. Yeah.
Did you 395 up the back way or?
Yeah. Went through all those flyover towns.
No, did you go up through the valley or did you go up through the mountains?
We went up through the mountain. Well, you went around,
through Palmdale, right?
Yeah, Palmdale, and then I think I went up to 5.
Tehachapi.
I went up to 5.
Okay,
5 up there. And
right, you're not that familiar with California, so you got if you went up to 5, you went through the San Joaquin Valley.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, the Great Valley. This breadbasket of something.
Yeah.
It's actually a vegetable basket. It's fruit, vegetable, and nuts. Anyway, sorry. So you went
5.
The 5. What I'm talking, but there's another route to get up to Reno. So you went up the 5. You probably went through Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sacramento.
And went up, and you went right by Lake Tahoe.
Truckee and.
Truckee. Yep. Yeah. Did you even see Lake Tahoe? It's like one of the. It's
no, but it's crazy. My buddy has a house in Lake Tahoe, but he was living in Reno at a more beautiful house in Reno, if you could believe it. He lives in this beautiful area out there.
The house is probably beautiful, but Tahoe, you step outside, it's just phenomenal. It's an alpine lake, basically.
Oh yeah, he actually invited me up there before I met my wife. We went up there and had me and my daughter went up there and had Thanksgiving with him in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, in Tahoe. Okay, good.
Oh my God, that was so great.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a lot of fun. Lived in a beautiful house up there, and we were talking earlier about the Pebble Beach Road Races. His dad was actually the one that started the Pebble Beach Road Races.
Oh wow!
And that's how we met him.
Right,
because of his dad, so it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I love that area. I haven't been back since, but go to Vegas now.
Beautiful. My wife actually grew up there
in Tahoe.
Tahoe, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, she probably knows them then. The Edwards family is very big up there.
Could be.
Yeah,
I can ask.
Yeah, they were very
because
very big.
it's a small
small
kind
community.
of, she was a west side girl, west side of the lake,
Yeah.
Homewood around there. Anyway,
Right.
that's a
Wow.
excellent.
Yeah. So, Jim, my God, it was great talking to you, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we learned a lot about each other and how embarrassing our pasts are. And
Oh boy, I haven't even started.
Yeah.
But anyway,
God, yeah. So, but you guys make sure you go to d-msg.com to get your Dash messaging, the Dash bounty program. If you're one of those guys on the list that have been hacking into the government, haven't been caught yet, this is a good way to start making some money. Silicon Beach Hustle, siliconbeachhustle.com. Program that will be in theaters soon, hopefully.
yeah, we'll see.
And the Dash program and everything. This is great. It's great information, and I hope everybody enjoyed this program. I enjoyed sitting here and hanging with you, Jim.
Thank you very
much.
much.
We got to do it
I
again soon,
appreciate
brother.
it. Yeah.
All right.
You got it.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Okay, that was my interview with Jim Bursch from d-msg, d-msg. I didn't say that enough during the show. Jim was a great guy. We're going to be coming back really soon where we can go through that step-by-step. Also, Silicon Beach Hustle. Check it out today, siliconbeachhustle.com. If you're an actor, you want to get involved with this, contact Jim. You get his contact right here. You wanted to contact him on the messenger, d-msg.com. We want to thank our sponsor today, BCHARITY. BCHARITY, world charity, one place. Donate to your favorite charity, fully transparent, easy to access. bcharity.io. Hey, this week has been a great week. We're going to be bringing you more shows this coming week. If you got any suggestions on who you'd like to hear from, any coin you'd like to talk about, give us a shout out. Talk to us. Leave a message below. Until next time, this is Dean. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.